What is up, guys? We got back with some Fallout 4. We're going to be looking at Relay Outpost Zimonja. It got a facelift, Greekrage Style. So this is made by Greekrage, the same person who made the not lore-friendly settlement mod that was next to Hangman's Alley, New Walden, Lord be damned. And it's also the same author that made the 84NE glowing sea settlement that we showed off in the previous video. So I'm excited to try this one out because not only do I not have a blueprint for Outpost Zimonja, I just absolutely never really go to this settlement. The only time I ever go here is when Preston sends me here, or JR from the Guns for Hire. She sends you after named bosses. So there's a named boss named Boomer here. So those are like the only two reasons why I come over here. But this is exciting because it kind of turns it into a military base. You know, Outpost Zimonja it really just wasn't interesting for me, so I never really built here. But as you can see, you got yourself a satellite, a nice flat surface right here, military style base, relay tower right here. I'm not sure if it works, and we also have a helipad right here. And if it works anything like the last mod we tried, then this helipad will work with your personal vertibirds. So, you know, you have a gated fence right here, as well as on the back. But the most exciting thing for me was it actually has an underground area. So I assume that this is going to, like, cut, you know, more holes in the earth and just dip it down so you can come down underground like you could with the last mod. So those are the most exciting things for me, being able to go underground and stuff without a loading cell in these settlements. So it does have a wireless power transmitter right here, connect to a power source, and you have power for lighting anywhere in range. So you probably don't even have to connect things up. You can probably just stick light bulbs to ceiling, and if it's within range of this, it may work. All right, so let's go ahead and check out Outpost Zimonja. If you have any problems with this mod, I suggest starting a new game on or go to a profile where you have never even discovered Outpost Zimonja yet, and then try it out. Also, keep this mod low at the bottom of your load order. So, without further ado, let's go and download this. All right, guys, here we are in game. I had installed the mod, and when I started this up, I was all the way in the glowing sea at the 84NE area. So now we're in 10 Pines Bluff. I quickly, you know, cheated to get over here, and then now we're gonna go over to the Outpost Zimonja, which I believe is like right over here. It's like super close, so you can already see some of the stuff right here. All right, so there we go. All right, so I don't have LODs for this. The mod author said they were gonna add them later. You could probably run low gen with this. It ain't the biggest deal for me. Once you get closer, that satellite should have like a pillar or some kind of structure holding it up. Also have to remember that there's actually enemies in here, and there's already turrets and stuff here, so I don't even know if these things are gonna follow they're gonna attack me or what. Are they gonna be hostile? I don't even have bats to tell. Okay, they're shut down, actually. Once I got closer, they stopped moving. Alright. Okay, the satellite is... Alright, now I'm too close. And that satellite's still floating. We have a problem. We have a problem. Alright. So is Boomer and his gang here? Oh, bro, I think they're just gone. Boomer is not here. This is an elevator? Oh, to take us down. Oh boy, here we go. Time to be impressed. Alright, it's probably gonna take us a while before we find the workbench. Let's just check some of these areas out right here. Residential, cafeteria, and maintenance. That's gonna take us down. Before we do that, let's check the rest of these buildings up here. Alright, we have a bunk. Alright, some of this stuff. I don't know if these are custom meshes added. That little globe image right there. Alright. Oh, wait. Oh, no. For a second, I thought this was that machine from Fallout 3. Alright, let's keep going. All right, so I'm guessing this is gonna open this door, and I got pieces missing right here. All right, so these are some of the reports that people was making in the comment section. I don't know, maybe it's supposed to be like that. It looks weird with the sides just being exposed like that. Yeah, how they just open like this? Like a mole rat could just sneak in or something. Alright, let's take the elevator down because I believe it's gonna take us where the staircase is gonna take us. Alright. So the panel's gonna slide up. Oh my goodness. Alright, there we go. Let's take this down. And I like how the ceiling closes above you. Alright, down in here, this ceiling kinda small when you're in power armor. This thing is kinda low. Oh wait, where does this take us? Relay power switch. Oh, look at you. He was already down in here. Alright. Wow, my frame rate just went to shit. Damn. Alright, it's probably all the... some gunfire over there. We gotta discover the workbench. But once you get rid of all of the, like the consumables, like all the beer and alcohol on the shelves, it might clear up the frame rate. So we have a bathroom right here, bathroom stall. I believe this stall has like a custom texture on it. I never seen stalls with that pattern on it. Alright, and we can close the door behind us. Alright. Like a railroad door access. I believe we have a cat in here. I just heard a cat meow. Alright, so these are some nice cozy rooms right here. Alright, there we go. We got a cat. Here's our kitchen over here. Wow, this is really nice and cozy. It's residential down here. It doesn't really feel like you're in the military base once you drop down in here. Alright, so up here, I'm assuming this is the player's room. Yes, it is. You always got that feeling when it's like that. Also, I love when you can just look out and monitor stuff like that. I have some of my settlements like Finch Farm and stuff set up like that, where I could just look out and see everything from my my main quarters. Alright, so going back on this side. Alright, we got a nice little space in here. And I'm guessing this is going to take us back up to the surface. Yep. Alright. Now there is an extra floor to go down to. Alright, that's gonna take us right here. Alright. I would assume that the workbench for the settlement would be in here. Oh, you can now use the workshop at Outpost Zimonja, so I guess just by interacting with the benches you can do that. I would have liked to have seen where the workbench was, but anyway, we can do this. Looks like we can hook it up to here. Can we? There we go. It's a water purifier. It requires 2 power, gives us 50 water and 25 food. So that is nice. And let me just check this right here. This looks like it could be a hidden door. Alright, just making sure. And I believe that could be it. Oh yeah, this is pretty nice. I didn't close this door behind me. Do these have self-closing doors? Alright, so I want to try something really quickly. Let's use the Let's use the scrap all command. See if it clears stuff in here a little bit more. Nah, frame rate is still kind of crazy. Alright, it ain't the worst thing. Alright, so I cannot find the workshop. I'm not gonna bother with it too much because of this floating freaking satellite thing. That is annoying. The frame rate is a little annoying as well. Oh look, there's the original settlement over there. Oh, so maybe the workshop. Okay, so the workbench is actually still in its normal place. Okay, so this place was extended. I was like already in there and just saying that I discovered it just now. Alright, so it has this over here. Is there a switch to open this? Ah, it's right here. Alright. And you can push the button right here to close it back. I would have much rathered it. I guess it ain't bad. I would have much rather the button just been over here though. But it's whatever. It's not like you gotta walk all the way up the stairs. And there's a greenhouse over here. I believe it had some crops in it, but we used the scrap all command. Now there are some items in here that actually won't scrap themselves. So, you know, you gotta watch it with sometimes when you use scrap all, because you'll have like objects like this. Like maybe the floor was here, the floor got scrapped, but the fences actually won't get scrapped. So yeah, you end up having issues like that. Now you can just probably place something in here and fix it back. I ain't gonna bother with it. But yeah, there's that. And one last test. Let's see if the helipad works. Returning to me.
And no one else.
We'll see if it returns to the helipad. But yeah, this settlement has potential, but I'm not gonna keep it. I think the frame rate combined with the floating satellite, and then it looked like pieces of the wall was missing, and then you have like, you know, some of those objects that can be scrapped, but it leaves the objects that can't be scrapped there, and they're in a position where they just look really weird. It was in the kitchen as well. Like most of the kitchen sink got scrapped, but the sink itself was still there floating in the air. So you do have those issues. Okay, I don't know if the landing pad works. The vertibird did not land at the landing pad. Oh, so there's a whole nother thing over here, and I want to try this too. So there was people in the comment section, stupid freaking synth bird, looking stupid, making Bethesda look bad. Alright, so somebody did say that this bridge right here that connects to the extended part was in nav mesh, and that their companions would actually run around the bridge to get to them. So as you can see, one of my companions just casually walked over, no problem. And there goes Frank Hoare again, Power Armor, 2B, they all walk over the bridge with no problem. So if you have that issue, it's probably a mod conflict. Alright, so that is nav mesh. Alright, I don't know why the hell a freaking rat storm pops up right now. So yeah, we got an extended part over here. I imagine this is probably like a guard post, maybe? No? Alright, but yeah, it's got some switches in there. And then you got this whole extended staircase right here that brings you up to the overpass. Can you build on this? And you know I'm a sucker for overpasses. Oh man, that's pretty lit. Look at that. You can actually build on top of this? How far can I keep going? Wow, and I'm able to build up here. I can't scrap these cars though. Impressive, impressive. I don't know. I'm kind of like on the fence about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's really good, but at the same time, you know, there are some issues with it. And you know, the mod author said they was gonna come back and update it, but they never did. They're probably never going to. But yeah, definitely, you know, it's impressive. I'll give it that. I'm not gonna keep it, but definitely something worth checking out. See if it works on your load order. You know, I'll put the link for this in the description. I'm still thankful for the 8.4 NE settlement that this person created. What the hell? Spawn workshop NPC. Wow, it's working. Let me try it again. 1, 2. Oh, that's pretty lit. All right, you could just spawn NPCs in here. All right, like I said, this guy makes some really nice mods. But unfortunately, this one is probably some mod conflicts on my end. I'm actually going to keep this mod, but I'm just not going to have it active in my load order. I'll probably try it on a lighter build. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to put the link for this in the description. Hope it didn't take too long giving a tour of this one. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.